Your man, just want to all praise be unto the Father after all, the King of the eternal realm. And grace and peace, glory, honor and exaltation be unto our Lord and Savior, whom the world called Jesus Christ. Now, I hope somebody with some level of influence or connection can get this to probably some of the vloggers them are so like Soulflow or crawpa or some of them, because what is about to be said is very, very important and could be instrumental to a lot of people. You know? We basically come to talk about the low vibrational state that our people has found themselves in. You know? Low vibrations. Things that they have been partaking in for the longest while and have not found any harm or anything wrong in it. This is the fruit of that which we are reaping now. You know, because the universe operates off a law, and that law is cause and effect. So if your cause was negative and everybody was okay with the negative or the evil, right? Now when the effect is in play, people shouldn't really be running around like chickens with their head missing. You know? Chanel. People shouldn't be running around with their head like chickens with their head missing, because music is a very powerful thing. Visuals also, like movie, right? Now, when people is of an ignorant state or nature towards a certain thing, you know, they can say, they basically can say anything, you know. Music is of a vibratory state. It's a thing of frequency. Everything around you is based upon frequency. The trees operate at frequency, the water have a frequency, you know. Your body is composed of a certain level of frequency as well, and it responds to certain frequencies, right? Check our culture, dancehall culture, music culture. Not just dancehall alone, even a certain level of reggae, roots reggae. Because I've heard some artists from back in the day singing some things where no, it's just a no-go, you know. But our culture basically glorify murder and all sort of wickedness, lewdness, fornication, all type of promiscuity and inordinate affection and all those things. That's what it glorifies. Which gang is tougher? Who has the most gun? Who kill the most people? Who is willing to do the most evil act? That is the music culture, right? Our music culture. That is what's on top, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of good music, and you're not hearing about them as you would hear about some dominant evil artist like a Tommy Lee or a Vibes Cartel or even an Alkaline, right? A TJ, right? And the music is all negative. But get this. These are people who also have seen that, you know what, people don't like to hear anything good really. And this is because the vibration is at a low state. So these people don't like to hear anything that's good or uplifting or positive. Because if they did, you have a Chronics, you have a Deep Joy, you have a Romy Virgo, right? You have a Chris Martin. You have so much good and talented artists out here doing good music. But the only ones that make it to the forefront are the ones portraying and preaching this negative thing. If it's not negative, the mass does not want to hear it. And if you go on YouTube and check for yourself, YouTube, which is a platform where people can openly choose what they want to hear, you'll realize that these negative things tend to have more views than the lovers rock or the positive vibration type stuff. And that is because people, the vibration of the people is at an all-time low, right? And it has been heading in that direction for the longest while. So now when you look and we see a teacher with the stomach, right, to rape a little girl, kill her, and then stuff her in a barrel of acid. That is the evil that has been sown from the very beginning. It's not just a now thing. When you see people turning up dead, like for example, the other day, unidentified body turned up in the Port Antonio marina, right? This has been a thing that has been brewing, and this is the end result of certain things. But to put it in perspective, people consume things on a daily basis, on a conscious level. It could be a conversation, or it could be something that you're eating at a cafe, a cafeteria, a restaurant, or even at home. You buy at the supermarket, something, right? Now, you know from personal experience that if somebody was to go to the hardware store then, or the wherever they sell pesticide or toxic substance, right, and buy a poison then and ingest that poison, it would do catastrophic damage to the body. It would be detrimental to the body, right, to consume a toxic substance. You could get really ill, as I'm saying, or you could die, right? Now, given the fact that the mind consumes things on the same basis, and the mechanism is not that much different from the system of the body, the digestive system of the body, right? Do you think it is wise to be feeding your mind all these toxic elements, this toxic thing? I need you guys to take for a second. Whoever is watching this, wherever it reach, whether it reach to Soul Flow or crawpa, I'd love it if it could reach to them, you know, because they have a bigger platform and a larger audience, and they could probably put this message across on a larger scale, you know, to reach more people, right? But stop for a second then. If you don't believe that music is powerful, one, go to Google and type in Plato's quote about music, right? Or type in Aristotle's quote about music and see what these great philosophers of the past had to say about music, right? We have a culture of being in denial. You know, 100 murders could have taken place this week, and you have an artist coming out at the end of the week or next week Monday, right, the starting of another week, with the most grimy and vicious gun song or murder song. How much head busts out, how much body get fling wet, junk cranium body which part, and when and where, and this and that and the third. Evil. We have been calling evil to ourselves, right? So we could have that amount of murder this week, and next week they would just continue on with the very same thing, and then they would come and an interview or so and be saying that, oh well, it is just music, it is just, you know, song, it's just art, it's just this, it's just that. But also again, the legend Tupac, despite all the grimy music he sang, right, he said that a song is not just a song, and we as artists are the artist has to be held accountable for the message, the lyrics that they're putting out there. You know, I'm not saying that everything that is happening is the fault of the artist. It's not. Right? But the artists help with this type of vibration. Music is a thing that, as I've said before, it operates off vibration and frequencies. Hertz, megahertz, kilohertz, and ultra hertz. Your body operates off the same vibration. You put on a beat that is of a certain tempo and put a little baby in the room or wherever it is playing, right? Without any knowledge of this thing, and see if he can help himself but to dance. Music is a commanding thing, you know. That is the reason why when they sing us, you go to a dance, for example, you go a normal. If a bad man song come on, be a blank star boss, you're a bad man in that moment, right? If a gallus song come on, you're the biggest gallus in that moment. All if you're not gallus, you're a gallus, you know, at that moment, you know, right? If a dancing song come on, or a dancing beat, all when you can dance, you move, you're rocking something, right? Because that is what music is. That, check out Michael Jackson's song as well, Slave to the Rhythm. Frequencies influence your mind. It affects you on a physical level. The words that you speak affect you on a physical level as well, right? So we have to be careful. Now, to the mass out there now, they're gonna be looking at this as not a sense, man, him at this, him at that, it's just entertainment, right? All of this is just entertainment, but it is just entertainment until bodies keep on piling up. I'm sure you're gonna say, okay then, so is it in Jamaica alone that bodies are piling up or people are dying? No, but I'm from Jamaica, I'm not from the rest of the world, so I have to talk about Jamaica. These gangs don't really make a lot of sense, right? They don't make sense because it's not like they're there for the protection of the people, just in case the government is mishandling stuff, as it has been for years. The pockets of these people are lined by the same so-called government. Lined. You know? Before we even get to the point of entertainment, you have to understand that people trust in one of three things. Either in their era leaders, if it is a good era leader, right? Or an era leader that impose fear upon them then and dread, right? So in a sense, that's not really trust, but they pay attention there. They pay attention to their pastors, and they pay most of all attention from ever since I've known even my own family and people to their politicians, either JLP or PNP, right? Or whatever other sub-parties are there. You know? So this is the culture of the people. This is what the people have submitted themselves onto. And everything from that, from those avenues are always negative. It's never ever a positive thing. So society on a whole has been grimy. Right? There's a way to change it. And I'm going to get to that. Right? But to sit by or sit back and seeing that children, let's say from the age of 5 or even before the age of 5, right? They have access to a lot of things, like a smartphone, for example, that I'm using right now, right? A smart TV, a laptop, right? They have access to so much things, and these kids are so smart these days. You know? They have access to a lot of things. So if they are feeding their mind this wicked thing we have as a culture from early, right? When they get older and their reality becomes negative, when they get to high school and it is all about the fighting, or it's all about the gallus thing, right? Or all about all the negative you can think of them, right? What good can come of that? What positive future can they have after that? What is the future reality of such a thing? You know, what is the future reality of such a thing? So when we reach to a point now where we that have been consuming this negative thing and embracing this negative thing with our dark minds, right, is now seeing a dark reality or a dark presence out before us in this world that we live in now. We cannot be blaming or pointing fingers at anybody. The government cannot fix this. The government can try to strike fear, but people will strike back. You know, they can implement measures, but people still are not going to care. They can put up cameras all over the place, but people still are not going to care. Right? You have to reach people on a conscious level. Those who are willing to accept it. Because this has been a mental thing spilling over into the physical reality right now. In order for a person to carry out an act like raping a little baby, right, then conceiving the idea again to kill her and put her in a barrel of acid, that has to come from the mind. So that is the person that is the being that this person is. That is who this person really is. Right? So, in order for this to be fixed, we have to come to the conclusion that what? I'm not going to really stay on here really long. I'm just here to make this point. Right? We have to come to the conclusion that, one, we cannot change the world. Two, when it comes to the children, we can only do our best to guide them to the best possible future. Right? Three, in order for them to get to that future, you have to ensure that they understand the present and that there is no tomorrow nor any yesterday. There is only now. And if they walk in now and have a solid mindset in now, a mindset of light and life, right, at this early point, and you keep them grounded in that, then you have a higher chance of them not being swayed from that. But because people believe that, oh, I'm just going to do this right now and then tomorrow. Like a lot of people, you say, I don't believe in this church thing or going to church thing. But you say to a lot of people, yo, why don't you give your life to God? You know, why don't turn yourself over to God? You know, oh, I'm doing this first and that, and then when I reach at a certain point in time, when I get to a certain age, then I'll go and turn Christian or whatever. You know, that's the mindset. When I get to a certain point, when I've done a certain thing, right? So they are not in now, they are existing in a future that may never come. Right? So keep the children grounded in the present. Let them understand that love, peace, truth, light, right, gentleness, meekness, and care for one another as human beings existing on this planet is the thing, that is the tool they need to go forward. That doesn't mean that you're going to grow them to turn all the button to people or all full split, right, or to be pushed around by people. No, right? That's not what I'm implying. Fourthly, you cannot change the world, as I've been saying. The only person or being you have the ability to change is yourself. So you cannot change the world, but you can change the way you perceive the world. You can change your operation in the world. Right? You can be a light that somebody else that is in the darkness may see. It may not be 1,000,000 people. It may not be 1,000 or 100 or even 10. It might be 1. Sometimes it may be none. But there is still you. You have changed you. Right? And we have to come together as people and find our way back to light. Because believe it or not, as I've said, I'm not talking about, I'm not speaking on a church level, like you should go to church or anything like that. If you want to go to church, fine, go, right? But we have become a godless generation. A godless generation. You know, back in the day, you had a poll. A few years ago, actually, you had a poll. And if I'm not lying, I think they said something like by the year 2032, mankind would no longer believe in God. Can you see we heading down that direction right now? Music is a very powerful thing, and we have to be very careful. So this, I'm just calling out to the artists out there, right? Let's see what we can do different, right? If you have a good beat, you still can put good lyrics on it. You still can put hype lyrics on it without the element of evil, just the same way. But then again, how are you gonna not put the element of evil if you're not really even conscious of what evil really is, or what you are doing that's really evil? If you don't really see a problem with what you're doing, how are you gonna make amends for it? Right? I know Vybz Kartel does not need to make certain type of music because he's a very talented artist. Alkaline does not need to make a certain type of music because he's also a very talented artist. Movada likewise. Popcorn is a very talented artist. All these people are talented people. Talented, intelligent people. Right? But you, the mass out there that are consuming what they're cooking, right? You are the one that has to first desire something different, you know, and then these guys will make something different. And if we cannot do this for ourselves, look at whether it is a little 1 month-old baby you have near you, whether it is a niece, a cousin, or a nephew, a son, a daughter. Just look at them beneath the age of 5, beneath the age of 10. Just look at them and think, what kind of world is this? Right? What kind of world has this become? Because even as an adult, when you leave your house in the morning to go to your job, it is no longer certain that it is a must that you return back home. It's not a must. We're all dancing on the edge of life and death here. And you cannot appease these people, because if their life is that much insignificant to them, imagine what your life is in their eyes. Just imagine what your life is. Your life is like nothing to them. You know? So we have to start this process of mental transmutation. Right? Ground your kids. Ground them. And I'm not saying that you should go and abuse the children or try to beat something in their head. Right? No. You have to show them that this world does not need any more darkness. It needs love. It needs peace. It needs light. It needs truth. That's what it needs. You know? That's what it needs. So as I've said before, my hope and expectation of this video is not really too high. Out of 8.8 billion people on the face of this earth, if only one person could hear or understand what I'm trying to say, it would be well worth. You know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of people use their social media platform to spread nothing but negativity and darkness, right? Things yielding forth the seeds of darkness and nothing of light. You know? So I'm just trying to use my platform to spread as much light as possible. And people, if you're already burdened or already in this dark world, going through whatever you're going through, it wouldn't kill you to try a little Christ in your life. Christ came and died so we could understand a deep mystery that the church is not teaching you. And the church have corrupted so much things that it's so hard to tell people about Christ. You know? But I am not ashamed of Christ. I am not ashamed of him. Right? For he said, if you deny me before men, I will deny you before my Father. So I am confessing Jesus Christ before each and every single one of you watching this. Right? That is what we need. Christ was about mental transmutation. Right? So, hopefully, somebody find some sense in this. You know, so grace and peace and love to everybody out there. And until next time, praise above all that exists be unto the Father of the all, the King of the eternal realm. Grace, praise, honor, glory, and exaltation be unto our Lord and Savior, known unto the world as Jesus Christ. Right? So until next time, peace, love, and unity to everyone.